Hello everyone, and welcome to this training video in which we will see two additional autopilot modes for the Airbus H145, namely the GTC and the GTC.H. GTC is for ground trajectory and GTC.H is auto hover. So first thing, of course, you want to make sure you have mapped your cyclic beep trim and collective beep trim, because we will be needing them. And I will also suggest mapping at least the CRHT here, but honestly it will be better if you map all those key bindings to make flying the helicopter much more enjoyable. So here we have the HSI mode here. You can switch to sector, hover, and back to HSI. Okay, and we are going to be using the hover mode. Okay, the display. And now the button that you will assign to GTC, it's located on the cyclic. Honestly, I don't know which one, probably this one or that one, I don't know. But it's a button that I mapped on my joystick. And now it's the same button that will activate either GTC or GTC.H. If you just press it once, it will activate GTC, that is ground trajectory mode. If you double press it, it will activate GTC.H. Okay? And if you are already in GTC, double pressing will just switch to GTC.H. Okay, so let's lift off into a hover as usual here. Press and hold trim release. I'm just going to move over where we have a little bit more space to work with. Maybe that area over there. And I will come to a hover. There it is. Okay, let's bring this helicopter to a hover. Now I will press only once and it activates GTC. Note that there is no height control here by the autopilot, and as you can see, the helicopter is moving and it will maintain whatever velocity, forward or sideways, forward, backward, or sideways. So here you can see, if I put it to 0, that is, there is no force acting to, not force, but it's not going to move forward, backward, left or right, unless you put it into motion, like here. Okay, let's put it to 2 here, set it into motion, okay, to the side, and even if you put it back to 0, it will keep moving, you know, in that direction. And to stop this, you have to apply some trim to the other side and then set to 0. So as long as there is something causing the helicopter to move in a direction, it will keep moving. So now let's try to stop that sideways motion. A little bit of left here and then 0. Okay, and now forward, we'll just increase it like here, 5. The helicopter moving, and then bring it back to 0, but it will keep. Okay, it will keep moving forward, and of course, the more you do it, okay, the faster it will travel. So that's the ground trajectory mode. It will keep the trajectory it's currently at. Okay, now I'm pushing forward on the cyclic trim, okay, to move forward and backward, and of course still using the cyclic trim release, left to make it move left and right to make it move right. And now I'm just gonna put it to 0. Okay, now if you want to face the helicopter to a different direction, you use the collective beep trim. So right, collective beep trim right will turn the helicopter, will make it go to the right. Otherwise, it will capture whatever heading it is, whatever heading it was at when you triggered GTC. Okay, and to turn left, same thing here. You just move the collective trim release to the left. Okay, now if you use the pedal, okay, it will turn, and when you release, it will maintain the heading. Okay, here also it will turn, and where you release the pedal, it will maintain the heading. So a good way to do this is to use the pedals to make a big change, like here, a big or fast change. And let's say, for example, here you just want to fine-tune a little bit, then you can use the collective beep trim as an example. Okay, but here once again, if you move the collective beep trim up and down, nothing is going to happen. Okay, and now if you press GTC once, the button once, it will disconnect. Okay, let's press it once again, it will activate. And if you turn off autopilot, that's a different button. Okay, let's put it to a hold here. Okay, there also it will deactivate. So two ways when you have a GTC mode on: either you press the button again to disconnect, but you press it only once, or you just disconnect the autopilot. So here I'm just gonna prevent it from moving, and there you go. Now to trigger to activate GTC-H auto hover mode, you double press. Now you have GTC-H. Okay, so still the same thing to move forward, backward, left and right laterally. You use the cyclic beep trim, except that here, as you can see, it's not moving. That's hovering mode, auto hover mode. So for example, here if I move it to the left, you won't see any indication here except for the plane or the helicopter here, the symbol moving to the left. But as soon as you release, okay, it will slowly center itself. And if you want to speed it, you just move in the opposite direction. So let's move to the right now. Okay, moving to the right. Now if I want to come to a stop quickly, I just move and center the yellow icon here. I don't know if you can see it. There it is, that yellow icon here. You just make sure it is in the center. As long as it is on one side, or forward and backward, it will move in that direction. So same thing here. If I push forward on the cyclic beep trim, it will move forward, and then it will still, try to maintain a hover as soon as you stop inputting. That's the difference between GTC and GTC-H. And same thing here, if I want to go backward. Okay, backward, and there it is. Now I'm just gonna maintain a hover here. Okay, if I leave it as is, and now same thing here, collective beep trim left to make small adjustments to the left, and if you want to make a bigger and faster adjustments, you use the pedal, same thing. But now if I press up on the collective beep trim, as is, nothing will happen. Okay, So you have to also activate CRHT mode here, either by using a key binding or by clicking on this. And that's why I find it more convenient to have a key binding. So you just press it. There you go. Now you have CRHT. Okay, and you also have the height. Okay, so you won't be able to go lower than 3 feet. So once again, here you use the collective beep trim up or down to go up or down. So here if I lower it, I won't be able to go lower than 3 feet. And here I can go up as much as I want. Okay, and it will, let's see here, 40. So it seems to be increasing in increments of 2. And here is your radar altimeter. So just put it to 25 in order not to wait too much. Okay, 25. Slowly but surely it will stabilize at 25. Okay, so for operations like for example hosting, rescues, that type of thing, GTC/H is very useful. Now when to use GTC, when to use GTC/H. Okay, and here again, if I press the button once, it will deactivate the GTC/H part of the autopilot, and here to deactivate the CRHT also, the height, you can press one by one. But of course, this is not a convenient way to do so. You just disable autopilot altogether and all the modes will disappear. Okay, so here let me just turn here and activate GTC. Okay, now the main thing here is that it's going to maintain the heading, and actually I might want to do this on the runway or the taxiway to better demonstrate one of its uses. Yeah, there's no mode active. I'm just hand flying, and remember, wherever you are hand flying, and let's say for example here you want to take off following that taxiway heading here, stabilize the helicopter as much as you can, and here I will activate GTC. Okay, now I want to take off and keep that same heading. Okay, I just raise collective, helicopter will maintain that heading for the takeoff. As you can see here, maintain that heading for the takeoff, which I'm going to abort because I will be flying too far away from the area, but you understand how it works. That's one of the use of GTC. And for example here, GTC/H, if you just press it mid-air, like here, you just press it mid-air, activate GTC/H, and also CRHT for the altitude. We slow down, so the altitude, it has almost captured it. Whatever is in yellow is, it has kind of recognized that to be in this mode but not captured yet. So once it turns green, here maybe there's a rescue to be done. Okay, and while it's doing this, you can then turn, and using the cyclic trim, okay, move forward to better position yourself for the crash site or rescue site or whatever operation you are doing. You are too high, you need to lower your altitude. There it is. Maybe you want to be at 70, just put this to 70, and you will descend gradually to 70. So this is GTC and GTC/H. Okay, now let me just disable this and activate only GTC. As you can see, because it was lowering its altitude, The moment I turn on GTC, I have to take care of the altitude myself. Now if I single press the button again, it will just deactivate GTC. But if I double press, it switches from GTC to GTC-H. But once again, you have to turn on CRHT, that is the mode that will allow you to lower the helicopter, increase or decrease its altitude, that is. Okay, and then once you're done, it would be better to deactivate it using the autopilot disable mode, and here you just hand fly. So I'm just going to hand fly the helicopter and land it back on the helipad. So that's why this helicopter is very popular for many operations like HAMS, rescue, those are those very useful features. And now you might say, but why not land using this mode? Okay, so already, as you can see, it takes some time before coming to a stop. Turning. Now it's still maintaining altitude. Okay. Moving forward and also lowering the helicopter. As you can see, it is a possibility. It's taking so much more time than I would have already landed and maybe even shut down the helicopter and grabbing a piece of pizza or something. But this is what you want to do. There it is. Okay, and here I'm just going to use the toggle. And remember, it won't go down below 3 feet. So there it is. Which means that we still have to disconnect the autopilot and land the helicopter, because it won't go below 3 feet. Okay, it is possible, but honestly I never land like that. Okay, I will use the GTC-H only if I need to stabilize the helicopter for rescue in some kind of critical situation. Otherwise I will just hover, just like that, using flying scales. So there it is. Now if you don't need that mode again, you can use the HSI mode or sectorial or whatever this means, based on your personal preference. Okay, so there it is, explanation on GTC ground trajectory and GTC-H auto hover mode. I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in another video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.